Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 336. Some players be dogging it. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. How are we doing tonight, Harrison?
Fantastic. I'm not dogging it. I'm here, giving you everything I got. So I'm here for it.
All right, yeah. We're going to get into it and exactly what that means. Some of you probably can already guess what that means from the picture here. Also, we were supposed to have former player Matt Gamble on the show tonight. However, he is playing in a baseball tournament this weekend. And he's like, listen, I'm done till July. So next weekend, I'm all yours if you'll still have me. And we're like, yes, absolutely. So Matt Gamble will be on next Sunday. And
Good for
we
him.
have some news. Yeah, pretty cool that he's still playing. And we have some news about Thursday. So stay tuned for that as well. We'll get into it.
We have news. What could it be, Nick? Man, I'm excited.
I mean, sure. I guess it's news. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll get to it later.
Yeah. You tease it a little bit more. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into it, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials and our link trees. So if you do any shopping with these companies, please use our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. Also have Rounding Third merch. If you search Rounding 3RD Baseball on Etsy, we have sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers, phone cases, whole bunch of stuff up there. So please check that out, support us, and get our name out there. And finally, on Patreon, this is a great way to support us. A lot of influencers and streamers are having a tough time on certain platforms. Patreon, you can really, really help us out and support us by subscribing to that channel. So check us out, Rounding Third Baseball on Patreon. All right, let's get into it, Harrison. Aaron Judge, right rib fracture, opens the door for the AL MVP race, which we talked about with Yordan Alvarez last week. Does it also open the door for the rest of the American League? So kind of a couple things to talk about here. First, let's stick with the MVP race. What does this do for the AL MVP race?
I mean, it takes what feels like an automatic and certainly changes that up because this is not a minor thing. It's going to take some time. Even when you get back, you're not fully right for a little while. So this could have a pretty dramatic impact on his season. So I think for the MVP race, I think the door is pretty well wide open. Now, don't get me wrong. Aaron Judge is good enough. He could probably win an MVP with 120 games played. But it just I think the bar he has set is incredibly high, but the gap is not that huge between him and the guys that have been chasing him. So I think the door is wide open in the AL for some new names to appear at the top of that voting.
Agree. I think it's still his award to lose, which is crazy to think about, right? It's still Aaron Judge. But as we talked about last week, Yordan Alvarez is, if he can somehow complete a year on the field, it's his. Bobby Witt Jr., probably not far behind them. So, Ben Rice, also on the Yankees, is having a ridiculous year. Yandy Diaz, to Curtis's point, those are all great names. Alvarez, Rice, Yandy Diaz. Yandy Diaz just, quietly hits 300 to 320 every year. No one talks about him because he's a Tampa Bay Ray. But the season that Ben Rice is putting together is unreal. But they're expecting Judge when, like, a little bit after the All-Star break, I think is what I've read, 4 to 6 weeks. So, and who knows, man, with ribs, like, eek. I don't know.
That's a tough one. It's like when you hear a guy that, has an oblique issue, anything around that core with all the twisting these guys do, it could be a problem. And even when he gets back, like I mentioned, he may not be 100% for a little while. There's always also that mental aspect of, do you really feel comfortable letting it go for fear that you might re-aggravate it? But the AL, the AL's got so many talented players: Bobby Witt Jr., Yordan Alvarez, Ben Rice, Nick Kurtz, Caminero, Jose Ramirez, your boy Shea Langoliers.
Yeah.
There's so many guys have monster seasons, and I kind of like the fact it opens the door for somebody else to take that award, because as good as Aaron Judge is, as a fan, I'd like to see somebody else. I'd like to see a new name at the top of the board.
Right. And John, this is a fair point. Alvarez is now leading in the Triple Crown after this afternoon, he thinks. But seeing what Cal did last year and didn't win MVP, those voters sure love the taste of Judge. I mean, there still is that aspect of it, right? Judge is still in New York. New York's a big market. We've talked about market being a thing, right? So, I mean, and Aaron Judge is still Aaron Judge. He could come back and just go on an absolute tear, right? And the one thing that helps Judge here is it's not muscular, right? It's a rib fracture, right? If it's muscular, you kind of worry about it coming back, but this is just it's a rib fracture. It heals. He should be good. That's the one saving grace about this injury. We always say it, like, breaks are better than strains or sprains.
They are,
right?
They always are.
They suck, but man, when they heal, they heal. That's it. So, I don't know. Yeah. So MVP, I think the door's open for someone to take it. Now, those guys got to stay on the field and still perform, but having Judge out for a good bulk of games, 20, 30 games, that's going to help their cases for sure.
I mean, the wild part is Aaron Judge is the kind of guy who could still win it, losing 20 or 30 games. But yeah, I think the gap between him and some of these other guys just isn't so big that he could easily be overtaken here.
Right. Not taken away from what Aaron Judge does on the field, because it's ridiculous. But all right, does it open? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's exactly where I was going to go next.
Oh, does it open the door for the rest of the American League having him out?
I think it does. This Yankees team is a little bit weird. For all the headlines and all that, their offense is good. Their pitching's actually been really good. And I think it's really been the pitching more than anything that's saved them. An offense that's been good, losing a bat like his certainly takes a step back. So I don't know that opens the door a lot in the AL, only because that pitching staff continues to get better. Cole coming back, they're going to continue to get better as they go. I think the pitching will keep them in this. The offense will definitely take a step back, but I think the pitching is good enough that these guys aren't going to fall off. They may slip a little bit, but I don't think that this team is better equipped to lose him than they have been in the past.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the whole AL is so bunched up right now that I think the door was already open. Like, yes, I think the Yankees are clearly the best team in the AL right now, and I don't think there's a close second. But losing this production for a month or so gets teams even closer in it, I guess, for lack of better words to say. I think it's so bunched up, and the AL is, let's face it, the AL is wretched.
Terrible.
There's really not a lot going on in the AL. I mean, the AL West, they're all battling for a 500 first place spot. The AL Central's not much better. The Tigers are up and down. The Guardians are the Guardians. The AL East, I don't know what to make of the American League. So him being down for a month and a half, I think gets those teams a little bit closer to the Yankees. I'm with you. I think the Yankees are still the cream of the crop for like Schlittler and Cole coming back. I mean, they, like you said, they have the pitching, and that's going to carry them.
Yep.
Well, but I think they're a little bit more bunched up.
I agree. And the one point Mike Reed makes in the chat over here is that, the Rays could take a big lead, take advantage of this and take a big lead in the division, which they absolutely could. The Rays are coming back to earth. They had that, they were on that heater. They're coming back to earth. They've lost 7 of their last 10. Their pitching staff not being good is finally catching up to them. They can't out hit them every night. So I definitely think the Rays are showing signs of weakness. So if they get another heater, absolutely they could pile up a lead. I just don't know that I think the Rays have seen their best days maybe, and are settling into who they are, in which case, maybe they bob along with the Yankees and the Yankees come back and take over. But either way, this Yankees team is going to the playoffs. The question just becomes, are they the 1 seed or the 2 seed in my mind? Like, that's really all it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, the Rays are doing what the Rays do. Look at last year. They were what, 28-2 in the month of April or something absurd like that, right? And we're just like, where does this team find this? Like every year they come out like that, and then they, like you said, they come back down to earth. Water finds its level, and the Rays become the Rays. So I'm not necessarily like, they have to show me that they can maintain this type of success over 162 instead of
Yep.
these, 1 month heaters. Because every team gets hot except for the Red Sox. Every team gets hot. So I mean, the Rays just seem to always do it in the first couple months of the season, and then we don't really hear from them the rest of the year. So we'll see. There's still a ton of baseball left, so we will see what happens. But
I will. It's worth pointing out for the Yankees though that this has been kind of a weird season for them, where they are 4-10 against teams better than 500. They've played one of the weakest schedules so far in the American League. And now they're coming to the hardest part of their schedule. June and July is pretty much a gauntlet for them, and that's when you don't have Judge. So if there was a time of season to lose Judge, this is the worst 4 to 6 week period of the entire year to lose him. But it's going to really test who this team is.
yeah. Yeah, Curtis says this isn't 2023. We're going to see what we have because the glaring weaknesses will show out loud or guys will finally ball out. Yeah, 1,000%. So
fair.
Yeah. But yeah, the AL's wide open for the taking, I think, for sure. Yeah. It could be anybody's division at this point. But, well, not division, anyone's league. But
except for the Red Sox.
Except for them, they're out.
There's definitely 5 teams in the AL. You can basically they're dead and buried already. Like, yeah, don't worry about thinking about them.
Mm-hmm. All right, Juan Soto dogged it to first base, costing his team a run. Where will the leadership come from, or will it never be there for this Mets team?
I think they had it. I think guys like Alonso and Nimmo, I think, were the guys that kept that clubhouse functioning. Juan Soto has been called out for a lack of hustle how many times now? This is like an annual thing, like constantly. And then, and I don't think it's any surprise that the Mets went in the absolute tank when he arrived either. I mean, for as good as this guy is, I'm not buying the Juan Soto hype. Yeah, he's got a World Series ring in Washington when he was like a baby. But as a more vocal, prominent veteran leader, he's done nothing. He had that great playoff for the Yankees when nobody else showed up, but it's a career full of great stats, missed opportunities, and questions around his actual effort, care of the game.
This one's crazy to me because you have a runner on third base and 2 outs. If you're not going to hustle for that, like, what are you even doing playing the game? Like, it's such a disgrace to the game of baseball. Like, you are trying to get your team a run. I don't care what the score is. You have a guy on base. Now, if there's 2 outs and nobody on, like, I can kind of see that, right? You roll over to second base, but there's a guy on third base 90 feet away.
Yep.
Like, run, man, run. You're making $750 million guaranteed. Run. It's not that difficult. It's inexcusable to me. Inexcusable.
And the next half inning, Soto was out in the field, right?
I probably. He wouldn't be on my team.
Well, what kills me is the fact that the only noise about this is coming from the media. There's nobody on the Mets stepped up and said anything. Soto didn't step up and say anything. Mendoza didn't step up and say anything. It's like it didn't happen. It's like this team is completely oblivious to the problems they have. The next day they're asking Mendoza in the dugout about how it's been to be the Mets manager, and he's talking about his experiences there and all these things. It never even came up. Like how does Juan Soto constantly get a free pass? I mean, as many times as he's been questioned around effort and his level of care for the game, and the rumors that he's not a great teammate, all that stuff comes up, never gets dealt with, and the guy just keeps getting a free pass. I mean, his stats are great, awesome, good for you, Juan. You put up numbers, but when when players don't want to be around you, and the fans constantly question if you even care, like, is that really the legacy you're leaving, or you want to leave? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it may be fair, it may be unfair, but if I'm dropping a 700, and it does come down to money for me right here. If I'm dropping a $750 million cost on this guy, he better be going 100% all out all the time. And like I said, you have a runner on base. You got to do anything you can. If you roll it over, hustle your butt there. The guy bobbled it, kicked it 5 feet behind him, still had time to go over, pick it up, and throw Juan Soto out. I mean, there's no excuse for that in my book. If I'm the manager, I'm sitting him on the bench. I don't care for the rest of the game. I don't care how much money you make. We have games to win, buddy. It's not setting a good example to just let him do that. And then, like you said, go out and play the field the next inning. Now, if he has a lingering injury that we don't know about, maybe I can find an excuse, maybe. But you do see in the last 20 feet, he tries to pick it up after he realizes that he booted it 5 feet behind him. It's too late. So
he realized he screwed up.
Yeah. So I just the way this was not called out is insane to me. And if you want to be the highest paid player in the league, you better be playing like Bobby Witt Jr. does. You better be playing like Aaron Judge does. Aaron Judge, I don't see dog it. It looks like he does just because he only takes 6 strides to first base. He doesn't have to run fast,
Right.
But I want you to play like Corbin Carroll. I want you to play like that. You're the richest player in the league. You're making more money than Shohei Ohtani. Think about that for a second. That's nauseating by itself that you're paying this guy more than Shohei Ohtani, but that's a subject for a different day. But there's no excuse for this. None.
No. And a great point by Mike Reed. It's who's going to step up. He's the alpha dog. They don't have an alpha dog to even challenge him. And that's a great point. I think you saw a better Juan Soto with the Yankees because he had guys around him like Aaron Judge who would be able to say dude, cut the crap.
Yeah.
There's nobody like that left in New York. The guys that were like that, he ran out of there. And Alonso and Nimmo and McNeil and those guys that, before Soto got there, that team was better. They didn't necessarily have all the star power that he brought, but they were a better team. I think there's a lot to say or a lot to be said for that when this guy comes to town and the team immediately falls off a cliff.
Yeah. Listen, I'm glad the Red Sox didn't get this guy.
Hell yeah.
Imagine him and what they have going on in Boston right now, what this would look like. Yeah. No thanks. God, man. But Chad, this is a great point. Soto does not want to be the guy in the dugout, and it shows. However, he is setting the example to bad. It's a bad one. No one wants to call him out. Yeah, because that's the fear, right? Because you call him out, who's the contract they're going to ditch? It's yours. It's not his.
And who, who has the status in that clubhouse to call him out? Bo Bichette? No. Marcus Semien? No.
One guy. There's one guy. That's Francisco Lindor.
Yeah, but even Frankie, Frankie's the only guy that could, in theory, call him out and have it be taken seriously. But Frankie's also got a pass too, so it might not be the easiest thing for him to make that call. But at the same time, you did have the guys that would do that. You would have the guys in the clubhouse that would get on people, and you pushed them all away. So now you got this free for all of guys that are doing whatever they want. Mendoza's got it shows Mendoza has zero control of that team and that clubhouse.
Yeah.
And it also shows that Juan Soto has already quit on this season. Doesn't care. To them, it's already over. Yeah, and as a fan, as a fan, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. It's $50 million in my pocket. I don't care what happens. Yeah, Michael, Bobby Cox pulled Andrew Jones for dogging it on a defensive play. Andrew's a freaking Hall of Famer. And that's the difference. That's Bobby Cox, Hall of Fame manager Bobby Cox versus Carlos Mendoza. Huge difference there. But yeah, he needs to come out. And Ed, 1,000%. Play like Ohtani. He works for it. Right? He does. Say what you want about the guy. That guy plays hard every single game.
That's one guy we've never questioned his effort. If anything, we've questioned if he's trying to do too much.
Right.
Like we've never questioned his effort. I've never seen him, basically quit on a ground ball or I've even seen the guy nearly at second base on a fly ball. Like he comes out of the box and he goes. Like he's been damn near at second base when the ball was caught. I mean, he does not take any plays off.
And if there's anybody that has an excuse for dogging it would be him. Right? I mean, he's also pitching. So it's like, I mean, as that manager, you're just like, hey, buddy, like I appreciate the effort, but let's dial it back a notch. You got to get out there and get me three outs on the hill. Like, but he doesn't. Like he earns his money for sure. For all the stuff we say about Shohei Ohtani, he plays hard. And that's what I expect out of a $700 million guy.
Yeah, but this is exactly why the Mets are where they are. Clubhouse leadership, they've got none. Manager that leads, don't have it. General manager that leads, don't have it. Front office that leads, don't have it. Like they don't have anybody in that organization that's just going to call BS on this. Everybody just is going to let it happen. And it's Juan. It's Juan being Juan. Remember the old days of Manny being Manny.
Mm-hmm.
But every time Manny was Manny, he had guys like Ortiz and Veritek that would grab him and pull him back to reality, and he would pop right back.
Right.
Juan Soto doesn't have that. Juan Soto needs, a big brother. He needs a guy on that team that is going to tell him what he needs to hear. Not what he wants to hear, what he needs to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in the position that he's in a huge market like New York, making a huge amount of money, there's a level of expectation that comes with that he's not reaching.
Yep. And Curtis backs you right up, Harrison. He didn't want to be part of a dynamic duo. Now reality has set in. He realizes being the man is a hard load. Pressure breaks pipes.
Yep.
1,000%. Nailed it, Curtis.
Yep.
And I agree. I'm sorry. There's no excuse. You play at this level. You get paid to play. You get paid that much money to play. You should be running, especially with a guy in scoring position 90 feet away. You got to do whatever you can to get that run in. And he just doesn't care. It's hard to watch.
How many times have we seen a ball like that, get bobbled or a double clutch or a throw that just barely pulls the guy's foot off the bag and he gets it back on, split second later. Like, baseball is a game of inches. It's always been a game of inches, fair, foul, caught or not. And it's those margins. It's in those margins that teams win championships.
Yeah.
And you can't give it away.
No. How many times have we seen, a speed guy just slap it and you just see the internal clock of the infielders just speed up? They're like, I got to get rid of this in a hurry. And just like you said, it pulls the first baseman off the bag, right? They rush the throw and they spike it and the first baseman can't dig it. That's where you win the game. That run scores. It changes the dynamic of the game. It's crazy. It's crazy to me, but, it's obvious by now Juan marches to Juan's drum and doesn't care about anything else, laughing all the way to the bank. Yep. Aaron, the Mets are proof spending a bunch of money does not guarantee winning 1,000%. Yeah. And Scott, never an excuse not to hustle.
Not to hustle.
It's brutal. But
it's little things like just run 90 feet, dude. Like if you just came out of the box and ran 90 feet like it mattered, that run likely scores. And now you look like a hero for busting your ass out of the box to tie the score. Instead, now you look like a fool for quitting on your team. And yet nobody in that Mets organization seems to care he did it. That's the worst part.
That's the best part about baseball. You can run 90 feet and stop and take a break.
Right.
Like run 90 feet and stop and take a break, dude. That's why it's the best game. I just, my God, man, it's just absolutely brutal. No excuse. But that being said, Harrison, does this put more ammo in the owner's pocket? So if players continue to dog it like Soto, does it give owners more ammo to cap this madness if they won't even play hard with a $750 million contract?
I think, I don't know that it gives the owners more ammo, but it gives the fans more reason to not take the players seriously. So I guess indirectly it gives the owners some ammo because to listen to these guys, Juan Soto, like literally the day before comes out in the salary cap and says, no, we don't need it. Baseball's in a great place, blah, blah, blah. And then a night or two later, he goes and does that. It's the irony of that is rich, but I think that when you see the players continually demand more, as a fan, I go, but you're not giving us more. Like
Right.
you want more money, but yet most of you guys, you're hurt half the season. You do only one thing now. Like you're not more valuable than the guys that used to play. Like as a generation, I would say these players today are far more, kind of one or two dimensional than players of the past ever were. Most of these guys, they can't play defense. They can't throw. They can't hit for average. They can hit home runs, and that's basically it. These pitchers throw hard. Most of them do it for half a season on average. Like as a fan,
a game at that.
Right? Yeah, and you're going 5 innings when you do pitch. Like I feel like you're getting you've never gotten less from the players than you do now in the era when the players only want more, and this just continues to further that argument.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. I don't have much more to say about that because it's just like I don't know how you can look at that. Like I wish the owners, if the MLBPA comes back with like, hey, we want more, no cap, and the owners just push play on the video screen and just play that Juan Soto clip and just have them all watch it and just be like, just watch their reactions. That's all I want to be in the room for is that moment alone, because what does the MLBPA even come back with at that point? Because he's not the only one. Let's face it.
No.
But like you said, you can't expect more and do less. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. The whole thing to me is maddening. It's we want more, but yet we play less. I mean, and I have to laugh. Did you see the Ketel Marte stir the other day when he took a day off?
No, I missed that one.
So
I've
Ketel
been
Marte
the last 3 games.
Oh yeah. So Ketel Marte took a game off. I want to say it's 2 nights ago because he had a game winner shortly after.
Yeah.
He took a night off. That's the 4th game he's missed all year. He's on pace to play 151 games this year. And he was getting crap from the organization about taking the game off. Like the media was like, why you need time off? And he's like, sometimes people just need time off. We're worried about a guy who's played 60 of 64 games taking a night off for a breather. Like that's what we're worried about in Arizona is the fact he took a night off because he needed a breather after playing he had played 7 games in 8 days. He's like, yeah, I needed a breather. Like every couple of weeks, every few weeks, like, yeah, I take one off, but I'm still going to play 150 games. Like, what are we talking about? Like, okay. Just like in some markets, that's what they're worried about. In New York, it's like, well, you showed up. Good. We're glad you're out there today. It doesn't matter if you don't actually do anything.
Yeah.
I just makes me shake my head.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because every team's different, right? Ketel Marte is clearly the cornerstone of that franchise. They have some other great pieces, don't get me wrong, but he plays both sides of the ball extremely well. But like you said, they're in the middle of like a 13-game stretch. Like sometimes it's good to get guys off their feet so you have their production at the end of the season. What's the point of burning this guy out in the first week of June? There is none. Silly. But yeah.
Awesome comment from Mike Reed. Owners need a cap to stop themselves from giving out stupid deals.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, Cologne can hustle a double faster than Soto can run 90 feet. So,
Jesus.
I hate that you're correct. The players today take an IL stint with a hangnail. Cal Ripken had 8,000 inning streak. Yeah. Broke his nose in the All-Star game, still played. I mean, it's just crazy, man.
That was like Charlie Liebrandt. Like, did you ever ask him out of a game? No. I came out of the game when they told me I was done.
Right.
I expect to be out there for 7-8 innings every single time. Mm-hmm. Like there wasn't an option.
No.
Like we didn't leave the game until we were totally done.
He was sitting at 130 pitches in the 9th inning in the World Series. 130. Yeah. Dude, guys don't even sniff 70 now. Half that.
He was at 106 when the 9th inning started. They sent him back out.
Right.
And didn't think twice about it.
No. just such a different game, but this doesn't help. And I don't, if the MLBPA didn't have much to stand on to begin with, and if this stuff keeps happening, they're really not going to have a leg to stand on. Because owners are going to be like, what are we paying for if these guys are taking plays off? What, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, but that thought just kind of popped into my head.
Well, it's good because I think that the players are quickly losing ground to the owners strictly in the court of public opinion. I think fans are realizing this players group is full of crap and isn't going to buy their story.
No, 1,000%. It's just crazy. Yeah, Austin Wood threw 169 pitches in a regional for Texas in 2009. Crazy. But I don't get it. And I think the Players Association here is in trouble. I really do. I don't know what they can come back with to sway the public. I think they have lost the public completely. I don't see how they can recover from this. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean,
can you see a world?
I can't take them seriously.
Yeah, I was going to ask, can you see a world, like, is there something that the players can come back with where the fans would be like, all right, like, we get your side. Is there anything at this point?
I mean, given their first proposal, no. I mean, unless they completely 180 off everything they said and come back to something closer to the middle, no. I think most fans are seeing their proposal as what it is. It's a cash grab. That's all they're trying to do is pull more money towards the Players Association group. They're not trying to do anything that helps baseball. And most fans are looking at it going, I can't afford to come to a game as it is. And you guys want to get paid more money?
Right.
Like, I can't spend $200 on a ticket and $25 on a hot dog, guys. Like, I just won't come.
Right.
I just won't come to the game anymore.
To a sport that is been generational for years, right? Like, you don't go to a baseball game by yourself, do you, Harrison? Who do you bring? Your family, your kids.
My kids.
Exactly. Right? You want to show them like why you fell in love with the game yourself, right? Like, this is why I fell in love with it. And then they pass it to their kids and it goes on and on. But to your point, if you can't even get to a baseball game by yourself, you can't pass that on to your kids, right? Because they're going to lose the love for it because you've lost the love for it because you can't afford to attend. It's just, I don't see what the players can come, even if they won 80, I still don't think that they can get the fans back on their side because now the fans are going to be like, oh, they're backpedaling. They see they're in a corner, like, I think they've completely lost the public opinion. That rebuttal to what the owners put out was just an absolute slap in the face to baseball fans, the owners, everyone across the baseball world, period. It's brutal.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the court of public opinion will decide a lot of this. And it's not looking good for them. MLB's played this well. The players have not. The players are doubling down on the same opinions, which are not popular. And they're going to ride this thing right into the ground, I think. And, work stoppage or not, I think, history is going to paint the players as the bad guys.
Yeah. Darcy, this is an amazing point, and I love this. I think, like many things in life, baseball can sometimes be a reflection of our current culture in general. Sadly, a true work ethic is very rare in society in general. And I mean, I completely agree. I see it at my job, right? The younger kids come in, there's zero sense of urgency. There's zero sense of work ethic. And it's tough to teach that. You either have it or you don't. The thing with these guys is they work their asses off to get here. You don't get to the MLB by talent alone. Does it help? Yeah, 1,000%. But these guys also put the hours in to become top level baseball players. But like now they're here, they're just fat and happy, and we don't have to hustle anymore. I don't know, but it's brutal.
Well, and a great point here by Scott. They play a lesser level of baseball and want more money to do it. It doesn't work. And I think for fans like us that have seen, we've seen enough baseball to know the difference.
Right.
I said it before on the show, like I find the current version of baseball more challenging to watch. I find it easier to watch other things now than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
Because I turn the games on. It's just the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's bad defense, strikeouts, and then an occasional home run. The quality of the game is not as good as it used to be. Now, I think fans are liking it. I think some fans are liking it because it's, kind of that instant gratification home run moment. And you're not looking at, a pitcher grinding out in a bat, with two guys on base trying to avoid the single. People just want to see the bomb. I think the younger generation thinks that's baseball. Sadly, they're mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, we can watch it from the trees outside, like in Angel Stadium. Angels in the outfield reference.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, just climbing trees. They used to do it in Portland before the main monster went up. People used to climb up in the trees all the time there and watch Sea Dogs games.
Oh yeah.
And Chad, another
stand on that
point.
hill.
Yep, another great point. This is why banana ball continues to grow in popularity. It's more of what the kids want to see. You can afford to take the family. And while MLB is winning the PR battle, at the end of the day, a work stoppage is a work stoppage. 1,000%.
Mm-hmm. Work stoppage will be devastating too.
Yeah. And Mom, we've talked about this a little bit, right? Get rid of them all and bring up players in the lower leagues that want to be there, want to play hard. But that's great and all, but the quality of the game goes down, right? But then if they're at that level and start getting paid, do they start acting like this? So like, it's not just necessarily the guys in the league right now. It could be a future problem too if that ends up happening, right? Because those guys could get up, and then the cream of the crop there will rise. They'll get paid, and then we're kind of back to this whole thing. But I get your point, but in the long run, it's still not sustainable. But
yeah, it's this era. It's every year there's a new record-breaking contract. Every year there's a new crazy number we've seen thrown to the guy we never expected. It's just the year that we're in. These guys are making an insane amount of money to play a game, and with that, some guys handle it well, some guys don't. Like, and baseball history is littered with first-round picks. They got a big check, and their lives fell apart. They just weren't prepared to handle it.
Yeah.
Some of that you might be seeing with these guys too. They get this kind of money and the motivation's gone. Like, and I'll go back to, that's why guaranteed contracts are a problem. Juan Soto can literally just trot the rest of his career. They can't do anything. Like, he's going to get paid no matter what. He's getting paid his $51 million a year, whatever it is, whether he does anything or not. Like, he's got no motivation to even be good anymore. Now, most of these guys have enough pride. They want to be good. But with a guaranteed contract, like, that pressure is gone. I don't even have to be good anymore.
See Anthony Rendon.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's so many guys in history that have signed huge contracts and then been total disasters after that.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And Scott, this is great. Show me a Ricky Henderson trip around the bases, single or walk, steal second, hit behind the runner, sack fly, gets to the run home. Baseball, 1,000%. And Flat Cheese, we're with you. The Rays are still playing that kind of baseball. The Brewers play that kind of baseball. There's a couple teams that are starting to kind of flip the script, I guess, that we've talked about. And I think it's the Rays and Brewers that play that type of baseball. And they're starting to, hopefully the rest of the league follows eventually, but we will see. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on. Ramon Laureano, season-ending hip injury. Feelings on the Padres, if any?
That team's a mess. Manny Machado's a mess. Tatis is a mess. That team has come back to reality hard. Lost 8 of their last 10. Offensively, their shortcomings are finally coming through the record. They don't look good. They don't play good. And you got a bunch of big contract egomaniacs that are struggling, and it feels like that's a recipe for a long, disastrous summer once they hit their limit. So no.
Yeah, and this guy's been a pleasant surprise for the Padres
Yeah.
since the trade deadline last year. He came out and he was on a tear when he joined the Padres, and that was really it for them down the stretch.
He was the only spark they had in September.
Oh my God! And you trade away Mason, or you get Mason Miller, but you can't get to him anymore. I mean, I haven't heard Mason Miller's name in the last week and a half because he hasn't come into a game.
There's been nothing to save.
Yeah. I just the Padres are who the Padres are. I don't have much to say about them, but to what you said, they're a mess, and we've been saying it for a while. They gotta strip it down. They gotta start over at some point. The guys that you have in the clubhouse are not a great foundation for this team. I would keep Jackson Merrill. I would keep your young guys, but get rid of everyone else.
Who do you think has the worst offense in baseball?
I'm gonna guess the Padres.
The Padres.
Yeah.
Number one fewest runs in baseball.
I mean,
and you look at that lineup and go, wow. Like you're spending a lot of money for not a lot of production.
No production. If they're last, it's no. Yeah, Manny's hitting 169 now. Yikes, Scott. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, he's been ice cold. Tatis has been a mess. I just, that whole team is a mess top to bottom.
Yeah.
The pitching, if it wasn't for the pitching, which is pretty good, they're middle of the pack or better. If it wasn't for the pitching staff, this team would be with the Rockies hanging out in the basement.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't hit. I've already said this. Get a real hitting coach. Find a bat at the trade deadline. Yeah, possibly. Marty says, Astros, can't believe someone is worse. Well, they do have Yordan Alvarez getting them out of the basement there, but
the Astros offense is actually pretty good. They're
they just
at least middle of the pack.
They can't prevent them at this point.
Yeah, their pitching staff is atrocious. But
yeah. But yeah, the Padres are a mess.
Flat cheese. The Mets scored on Mason Miller. That should say something about their momentum. Yikes.
Yeah, that's bad. But yeah, they got to strip it down. I think at some point here. I mean, they got to start over. But
I feel like they're in the same spot as the San Francisco Giants. Though, like, who the hell is going to take those contracts? Like, I think in a perfect world they'd love to strip it down, but like, who's taking those guys?
See, I don't even know if the Padres think they need to strip it down. That's
fair.
That's where I think I'm at with them. Is they're
fair.
We still got the best players in the league here. Sorry, you don't. You're paying them to do nothing.
So can we at least acknowledge you guys suck? Like, just do that for us.
And I don't think they can. I think that they're like, oh yeah, we still got this. Like, we're fine. Like, we don't need anything. These guys will be okay. Newsflash, you're not going to be okay. I'm known to eat my words, so here it is. I'm putting it out there. So Padres probably go on a 3-month heater now, but at some point, they lost all momentum to me when they gave up those 2 games to the Dodgers in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was it.
The Padres were coming up. They were playing well. Then they got cocky. Dodgers came back, punched them in the mouth, and they haven't been the same since. And I don't think they can recover from this. They have to start over.
Yeah, you had 2 shots to lay the Dodgers down, and you didn't.
You actually gave it away both games.
Oh, yeah, that was brutal.
But
you got shut down in a bullpen game, and then completely fell apart in Game 5.
Yeah,
bad. Like you guys were complete no-shows when it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
But that's who this team is.
Facts.
These guys. Manny Machado is the master of the 3-run home run when you're down by 7.
Yeah, he's taking the crown from Randy Arozarena for sure.
Yep. Like, so much of what Manny Machado does comes at times in games where it's just irrelevant. It's a 3-run homer when you're up by 5, a 2-run homer when you're down by 7. It's the big play when you're down by 5, and then he celebrates it. Like, It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
I can't take this dude. I can't take him seriously.
I can't take the Padres seriously
Fair.
anymore. But
fair.
All right, Harrison. Good or bad, the Rays, White Sox, and Red Sox, biggest surprise so far.
Oh, the White Sox, for sure. We say it every year, the Rays, somehow they're always good, and we don't know how or why. They just like 3D print guys and ship them up to the majors, and they play well. The Red Sox, is that a surprise? Yes, but the way they played the last 5 years, I don't know why I'm surprised anymore that this team shows up and falls apart. It's what they've done since 2018, basically. Especially bad in the last 5 years or so. So to me, it's the White Sox, who I thought would be better than last year, but Jesus, I mean, what are they sitting at, 34 and 31 now? Yeah, they're 34 and 31, +8 run differential. The pitching staff's not good, which we knew it wouldn't be, but their offense is crushing.
Yeah.
These guys hit, and it's not just Murakami. It's up and down that lineup. I mean, I watched Mydroth hit the grand slam the other day. He's a beast. You can go up and down that order and find guys, Montgomery, that can hit. That team can just rake.
Is Murakami even back in the lineup yet?
No, yeah. He's still out, but
they're still winning.
They're still hitting.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm with you. The White Sox are a pleasant surprise for sure. But I think my biggest surprise is our Sox. Like, with the off-season moves and the pitching moves we got, they got the depth that we were asking for years to get. I expected them to maybe not take a huge step forward, but I expected them to kind of keep inching towards being better, right? Because they actually did something in the offseason, gave us a little bit of hope and optimism. They have zero identity. They are the American League Mets. Other than Wilson Contreras, I don't know what this team is. I really don't. Yes, Crochet getting hurt hurts a lot, but I did not expect the Red Sox to be this unbearably awful.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff coming into the season that I was worried about. I mentioned the fact that I was worried Crochet would break down. Like, at what point do we lose him physically? That we've hit that window. I thought the rest of the pitching staff would be better. Didn't have a lot of faith in Brian Bayo, which how'd that working out? The bullpen we knew would be terrible. They blew it again today. Bad. Gave up 5 runs and was it 7th or 8th. It was just atrocious.
Yep.
But it's to me, the offense is the most surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody is slumping. There's not a single guy other than Contreras who you can look at and say, yeah, he's having a good year. Duran's been non-existent. Rafaela's been non-existent. I mean, Roman Anthony's been hurt. Meyer's not been good. Like, there's nobody in that lineup you can look at. I mean, Wilyer Abreu's been okay at times, but there's nobody in that lineup you look at outside of Contreras that goes, yeah, he's going to help us today. Most of those guys are having just wretched seasons.
Yeah. Ed says, as a Sox fan, not at all surprised. They did nothing to improve their lineup, and I was expecting Story to break down. Yeah, I mean, for me, I was hoping that they pulled the trigger on Ketel Marte. I know it was a pipe dream, but we were at the point as Red Sox fans where we were like, that meme, it's like poking it with a stick, like, do something. Well, they did, right? I mean, you traded for Sonny Gray, you traded for Contreras, you added Ron Hare Suarez. So, I mean, yes, we were screaming for pitching depth, and that's what they got because they scored. They were at the top of the league in runs scored last year, right?
They were.
So, I mean, we're like, you don't really need to touch the offense. I think we're okay. But we're not getting it this year. There's no hitting happening. Zero. Zilch. None.
No. And you when you lost out on the Bregman sweepstakes and didn't get Alonso either, and then quickly pivoted your philosophy to run prevention and went after all the pitching you could find, but didn't deal with the bullpen. I mean, yeah. You tried to salvage an offseason that was not going your way by pivoting to an area that you thought you could take advantage of, and it didn't work. The pitching you brought in, Sonny Gray's been fine. Suarez he's looked really good lately. But that's it. Crochet's out. Crochet's been kind of a non-factor for the season. Bayo just got demoted. What happened to Oviedo? Is he still around?
I don't. He probably got traded to Milwaukee, and he'll be there next days.
Right, but you expected Oviedo to play a big role, and we thought he might have been in the steal of the offseason, and he's been a ghost. And nobody's coming to help. Like, there's nobody coming.
No.
And there's not even like a sign of some help.
No.
It's just and the bullpen continues to just be awful.
Yeah, Bloom took them all to St. Louis with him.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you made trades with your buddy who knew your farm system and rated it.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, Curtis, listen. He's like Marte, I get it, right? But I think at that point, like, I almost do it. I know they wanted early, they wanted Tolley, and I think Duran, right? And maybe it was Campbell too. It was like 4 for Marte. Campbell would have, yep, bye, see ya. And if you want 2 of my young lefties, I mean, you're getting an MVP caliber player. If your goal was to go for it, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, Early's nice, Tolley's nice. I get it, but like, they're not helping the team at all right now. So
if it wasn't for Tolley, like, there'd be no reason to watch this team at all. That dude's a gem. He's a national treasure.
Love him.
I mean, like, when he did like the fake jump, like he's gonna field the ball and like just like walked away.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is just entertaining as hell out there.
What was it? Oh, his balk. Did you see his press conference after that really bad balk?
Yeah, he's like, when he's trying to explain, he's like, I got nothing. Like,
he's like, my brain just went like empty. I don't even know.
I wish I had an explanation for you, but I don't.
Yeah, I just like, brain just didn't brain there. I don't know.
He is a friggin' treasure. Like, he's the kind of guy you want to just keep around because he'll keep the mood light.
Yeah. And Curtis, you're right. It's just a very bad aura with the franchise right now. I know these things because I'm a Raiders fan.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very, very similar right now. It's tough. It's tough sledding in Boston right now. It's not fun.
As a Red Sox fan, since the Theo Epstein days, it's been tough. I mean, and we won a World Series in there with Dave Dombrowski, but like, Dombrowski was a dink. He just kind of came in, signed some contracts, traded away everything they had, threw it all in, won a World Series, and then disappeared.
Yeah, it's like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, and there were players that weren't happy then. That's when the whole Mookie Betts thing really started because he wouldn't even negotiate with Mookie, and then handed it to Chaim Bloom, who had to be the bad guy. But I just think this, then you finally you started to build momentum with Chaim Bloom, and then he got chased out of town. You haven't had any consistency in that front office for a decade now.
Yeah,
and that's a problem when it's a revolving door every few years. It's hard for anybody to get comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Forrest, this is a great one. The Cubs have been surprisingly good and surprisingly bad this season, so that's impressive. I've never seen a team just rattle off 10 straight, lose 10 straight, rattle off another 10 straight, lose another 10 straight. Talk about streaky, man. It's crazy.
They are Jekyll and Hyde, man.
Unreal.
When they're bad, they're bad. But when they're good, they're like untouchable. It's wild.
Yep. Scott said he saw a report that the Sox were going to pick up Ellie De La Cruz. Any validity to that? But of course, the day after I heard that, he got hurt. And Michael goes, he said he was hurt, so he couldn't go to Boston.
Yeah. Well played, Michael. That's probably true.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't look like he popped a hamstring, so maybe that is true. Hey, Ellie, we're going to trade you to Boston. Oh, God, right hamstring's tighten it up. Put me on the IL. But
like he didn't just saw his leg off.
Yeah. I mean, the Sox need a shortstop. It's no secret. Trevor Story is aging before our eyes. It's unfortunate. We were kind of excited for him to get here. The unfortunate shoulder injury, like year 1, he got here, like 3 games into the season. He just hasn't been the same player. And it is time to move on. I love Trevor Story, but it's time to move on and find ourselves a shortstop.
And it's also, as a Red Sox fan, it's time to maybe begin to realize that your big 3 ain't much of a big 3.
Yeah.
Marcelo Meyer doesn't look like he's got it. Now, granted, he's still a young guy. He's still only 23. But he's been around for a long time. And for him, it's inconsistency and injuries. Roman Anthony, already dealing with injuries. Christian Campbell can't even hit a AAA anymore. Like the big three that we were all pumped about as fans, like reality is beginning to set in that maybe this isn't the group we thought it was.
Yeah.
And that's not good because you were banking the future on these guys.
Yeah, Curtis, another great point. John Henry's silence is deafening. It almost comes across as being aloof. I mean, I don't think this ownership group is engaged with this team at all anymore. They are so focused on Fenway Sports Group that it just, I feel like this team that should be the centerpiece of what you're trying to do at Fenway Sports Group is just kind of a non-factor at this point. It's just another organization that we own. We don't really care about it anymore. That's the feeling I get as a fan. Do you get that same feeling?
Yeah, I can't tell if he's intentionally distant because of the whole Alex Cora thing and he wants to just let things settle. Or if he's just distracted. But I will say was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, he won the Lifetime Achievement Award in the 2026 Sports Business Awards. And he made a comment that got some people stirring. And it was, when I arrived in Boston 25 years ago, I was told, if you win the World Series in Boston, you never have to buy another drink in this town. It doesn't actually work that way, Henry said. And it kind of raised some eyebrows as to, oh, you're not liking it as much in Boston as you hoped, feeling like you would have, been the king after bringing 4 World Series championships. Not realizing this fan base is not settled with just winning this year. They want to win next year too, and the year after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reality of what Fenway Sports Group actually is, I think is disappointing for fans. I think the reality of what they're trying to do here is also, I think, maybe disappointing to the ownership group because I think they thought, well, we brought you 4 World Series titles. Like, can't we just do whatever we want now? Like, aren't we the kings? And it doesn't work that way. Red Sox fans are a what have you done for me lately bunch. And as you can hear at Fenway, between the boos, the chance of sell the team, empty seats, which we've never seen empty seats in my whole friggin' life.
Yeah.
The fan base is making a statement. And I have defended the Fenway Sports Group because they have spent money on the team. They've gone and signed big free agents. Their payroll's always been in towards the, the upper 5 or 6 in the league. But it really does feel like it's very much just on cruise control.
Mm-hmm. And it has for a while.
To be okay with that.
Yeah. I think the worst thing for the ownership group was when the Red Sox made that run in 2021 when Kike Hernandez couldn't get out for a month. Right. I've never seen a hitter so hot as he was. It was just every pitch he saw, he hit 400 feet in that playoff run. But I think that was the worst thing for the owners, was for the Red Sox to go on that run. Because after 18, Red Sox fans were sitting kind of fat and happy, right? COVID happens and we're just like, all right, like we're okay. Like, let's get some foundation. And then 2021 hits when we are supposed to be like rebuilding and we're like, oh crap, we're good. Like we're good. Like let's keep going. And then nothing for 5 years. No, I mean nothing. If you call a first round exit to the Yankees last year something, then sure. But I mean nothing.
Yeah. When Alex Cora got badly outmanaged by Aaron Boone.
Yeah.
Although, granted, he got dealt the blow with Giolito not being available and all that stuff. But I will say there are reports from like the Liverpool side of things that they have the same frustration with John Henry. Like he's not really around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was interesting. David Ortiz came out. When was this? Last week? Yeah. So David Ortiz interview with Associated Press basically said that John Henry is worried about the team. Like he's not been around as much, but he spends a lot of time thinking about them. He's worried about them. They're trying to figure things out. And part of why they've been away is that they're doing some kind of real deep dives into the organization and how to do a better job. So it's kind of like, why is David Ortiz suddenly a mouthpiece for the ownership group? Is it because they don't think if they say it, anybody's going to believe what they say? Or is Ortiz like genuinely concerned with the organization being the guy that he is? And is just trying to give fans a reason to, chill out. But I don't know. I think David Ortiz is a mouthpiece for the ownership group. Is it because they don't think if they say it, anybody's going to believe what they say? Or is Ortiz like genuinely concerned with the organization being the guy that he is? And is just trying to give fans a reason to, chill out. But bizarre that David Ortiz went on a whole spiel about how the ownership group is so worried and trying to figure things out, and they're determined to fix it. And like, why is that a message David Ortiz is sharing?
Because no one else is talking. That's why.
I mean, maybe that's all it is.
Yeah.
David, do us a solid and go tell fans that we still care.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, kind of going back to the main point here. It's the White Sox. Good surprise for sure. And I hope they can keep going. They've been fun to watch. So good for the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah. If there's one team in Chicago that's definitely worth watching, it's them, because the Cubs are. Oof.
Yep, for sure.
And Alex Bregman's not looking like a very good signing.
Yep.
I love that for them.
All right, All-Star balloting is out, so make sure you get your votes in. I know Aaron Judge will still be the top All-Star vote getter, even though he's injured, because that's how it works. But just to let you guys know, make sure you get your All-Star votes in. Vote daily. Don't vote for any Red Sox. I hope none of them go. Anyways.
Or Mets. None of them should go either.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, I tried to black out Soto, but it wouldn't allow me because it's just a full image. So anyways. All right. Here is the announcement, fellas. MLB Jeopardy is back. It is back. I have the first game just about ready. Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next 5 Thursdays. We will have Jeopardy, and the winner after the 5 weeks, we keep score. We keep track of who scored the most points, who's got the most wins. After 5 weeks, person with the most points gets rounding third gear and bragging rights. So MLB Jeopardy is back, and it is a blast. We did a 10-week one. We're not going to do a full 10 weeks because that was a lot of work for me and Harrison. So we're just going to do 5, see how it goes, and then we might switch up the game. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head. And it won't be Family Feud. We have something else in mind. So Curtis, you're welcome. But MLB Jeopardy this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is back. So study up. Let's go. I'm pumped.
Got a lot of excitement in the chat. We got Mike Reed saying woot woot over here. You got some let's go, some sweet. Yeah.
It was
so fun. It was so fun last year.
Yeah. Yeah. The in-between was wild. But especially towards the end. That's why I'm kind of sticking it to 5 weeks. But yeah, it was an absolute blast. And it's great because it's like in the dog days of summer when not a lot of news is coming out. Thought this was a good time to do it. We'll probably take a little bit of break between games because we'll be right around the trade deadline-ish, All-Star game and all that stuff. And then we'll pick up a new game after that. So that is kind of our goal going forward is Thursdays is maybe kind of make it more loose and like game show format type-ish. So we will see. But yes, can't wait. I need some questions from the 60s and 70s. I'm old school. Well, I'll try my best. I try to mix it, so we'll see what happens.
You got Forrest wants pictures from like the 1860s and 70s because he's really old school.
Kiss from Morgana. Well, I can see what I can do, Curtis. I can see what I can do. I don't know if you guys ever saw my Wheel of Fortune post that I did for a while, but I had Morgana up there instead of Vanna White, and I got a lot of people saying like, man, that was awesome. But yeah, 1880s is what Forrest is asking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, Curtis, you haven't done it. It's a blast, man. We did it for 10 weeks last summer. We had so many people on, and it was a great time. So I will be putting out some posts and reels announcing MLB Jeopardy this week to try to get more contestants on. But it's incredible. So also if
Mike Reed is saying no, only 80s and forward. Don't go back.
Okay. The thing about this is if you miss a week, you can still jump back into the game and score because it depends on who wins is how the points are divvied out. So it's not a running score throughout the 5 weeks. So just come every week for a better chance to win rounding third merch. So excited for that. All right. Out of left field discussion topics. Harrison, these ones are yours. What do you got for us tonight?
I got some good stuff tonight. I'm hoping I'm getting to get some good conversation going here with chat. So let's see where it leads us.
All righty.
First one for you. And of course, we got the poster child back here. Do you think, Nick and chat, do you think most MLB players love the game, or is it just the job? And secondly, does it matter to you if they do?
I think it's split. I think there's a lot of players that still love the game, respect the game, and there's a handful of them that are Anthony Rendon, where they're like, yeah, it's a job. Like, I come here 10 hours a day, I put in my work, I put in the grind, and every job is kind of like that, right? Like, where you get into a groove where you're just like, man, it is a grind. So I think it's split. A lot of guys do love it because that's what got them here. But like once they're here, like, does it become a job? Like, yeah, I have to get my body ready. I have to stretch it out. I got to go see the trainer. I got to go to the gym. I got to get out on the field for batting practice. I got to play the game. Then I got to go ice down. I got to pack my bags, get on the bus. So like the daily grind is no joke, right? So yeah, I think it's split. And there might be guys that view it as both, right? Like, I love this game, but it is my job. But I think it's split.
Yeah, I asked the question. The Juan Soto thing got me thinking. I was like, well, it's worth bringing this up because, like, I remember when I was a kid, like, I just assumed they all loved the game like I did because, why wouldn't you? It's baseball. It's a beautiful thing. Like, why wouldn't you just love the game? And then as you get a little bit older, now you start playing, more competitive baseball, bigger leagues, longer seasons, travel ball, things like that. You're like, oh, this is a lot of work. And I'm still a teenager. Then you get to college. It's like, okay, like it's stuff in the morning and in the afternoon and travel and blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, this is a lot of work. But I look at it as, a lot with all the guys we've talked to on the show, I think there's a point where you love the game and a point where then it becomes a job because you see the business side of baseball. You see the fact that it's not the sunshine and rainbows you hoped it would be, that it's cutthroat. You're fighting for your life. You've got to be in shape. You've got to perform. There's a lot of pressure. And you're fighting for that contract. And once you get that contract, I think when the pressure comes off, like, okay, like I can just go back to playing baseball again because now I'm set. But at the same time, when you've got, a wife at home, kids at home, a life that happens, and you're gone literally for 6 months because, even when you have an off day, like it's still video and training staff. And I find it hard to believe most of these guys, after a few seasons of this being your entire life for 6 months out of the year and giving up everything else, that it doesn't feel like a grind and it doesn't feel like work. And that do you still love the game, or do you love the fact the game pays you? Because if you took a pay cut, would you keep playing? And I think a lot of these guys you'd find, if they weren't making the money they were making and had to take a big pay cut, a lot of them would say, you know what, I'm all set. And I think they'd walk away. I think there becomes a point in their lives where it's not a game anymore and it really is a job. I just don't know how it couldn't be.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And I think you nailed it with that, the time away from home, right? I mean, that's huge for just being a person in general. Like, imagine if your job just sent you on the road for 8 months out of the year. Like, I can't imagine that's easy on any wife left at home, right? Yep. Especially if you have kids. Like, goodness gracious, man. Like, it's that part's tough. But so I'm sure these guys feel it at some point in the season for sure. But I'm sure a lot of them still love it.
Yeah.
Right. They're baseball junkies, right? Which you have to be to get to this level. You do. Yeah. You have to wake up thinking about baseball, go to sleep thinking about baseball, dream about baseball, and get up and do it again. Right. And a lot of these guys they wouldn't be sitting at this level, but the grind is 100% real. It's a real thing. So yeah, I'm with you. Does it matter to me if they do? It matters to me when it shows its ugly head like Rendon. Like then it matters, right? I mean,
Right.
you don't have to come out and say it to our face to know that's how you feel, right? We can see it. Juan Soto, case in point, right? We just spent 30 minutes talking about Juan Soto, treating it like a job, a free paycheck, pretty much. So, like that, when you're kind of throwing it in our face, that listen, you're playing a game that we all dreamed that we could have made, and you're taking it for granted. You don't care. Like that's when it matters to me. But if you're not showing it and you're like you're out there and like Mike Reed, you're showing effort, then it doesn't matter to me if you view it as a game or a job, right?
Yeah, and does it matter to me if they love it or not? I don't really care if they love it or not. Like as a kid, I wanted them all to love it like I did. And I was, as a kid, you get the rose-colored glasses on. These are your heroes. Oh my God, they love it. They must love it like I do. They don't. It's a job. But I still want to believe they do. Like I want to believe they care. It's just like, I've worked with people before that are willing to do the absolute bare minimum to not get fired. Like I've worked with people early in my career that did that. And I never understood not wanting to do a really good job and not wanting to put in the effort and excel at something. I think that's more what bothers me is that when these guys don't care, they don't care about the outcome. They don't care about the result. They don't care if they're good or not. They're just going through the motions. Like that as a fan feels painful to have to watch and deal with. And also the fact like you're spending your time watching them. The least they can do is pretend like it matters.
Yeah. I've always been in the mindset with no matter what I do, whether it was anything in my career, like I always wanted to try to be the best that I could. And sometimes I can't stand it when people don't have that same thinking as me. Like you're here, you're at a job, right? You're spending a bulk of your life here. Like 8 to 10 hours a day at your workplace. Like this is who you are in most cases, right? Like why wouldn't you want to put your best effort? Because that just builds your character. That shows people who you are. Instead of that like I don't give a shit mentality. I would never want somebody to look at me and say this guy doesn't care. Right? I just maybe I'm a minority, but I would never want somebody to look at me and say, this guy doesn't care what he's doing ever on anything. But
right. I mean, if you really don't care, then why are you still doing it? And for the fans that spent money to come watch you play and the kids that are wearing your jersey and people watching on TV, like, can you at least pretend like it matters?
Right. Yeah.
Like that would be cool. And if it doesn't matter to you, then maybe you should get out.
Right. John Baptist says it matters because if you love something, you treat it better. You also treat yourself better too. It shows when you love something 1,000%. And unfortunately, players aren't really showing that right now. Right? I mean, they're not. As a whole, as a collective group, they're not. So yeah, 1,000% agree there. Baseball History Dork says they don't have to love it as long as they play hard, but they won't do that unless they're up for a contract extension or a bag of money at free agency. And that's what I mean. Only if they get something out of it.
Right. And I think the comment by Greg is, I don't in no situation are any of us feeling bad for them. I was just more curious, like, do you actually think the guys love what they do, or are they just literally, is it just the job at this point? Like at some point, does the love fade and it becomes like, I'm just going to be really good at my job?
Yeah.
I mean, is it the same thing as working at Dunkin' Donuts? Well, no. Not all jobs are the same. But at the end of the day, like these guys are getting paid really, really well to work a job. And they spend a lot of time on the road. They spend a lot of time in the ballpark. They spend a lot of time, having to do the things that are required to be ready to go. Kind of like anybody else.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a job in a different environment.
Yeah. I mean, kind of something that just popped into my head is watching the Red Sox documentary and was it 2023 they did it when they followed the team?
Yeah.
And they signed Tyler O'Neill. He had an apartment in Boston that he built a batting cage inside his apartment.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, That's crazy. But that's the type of grind that these guys have to put in to be ready for the season. In his apartment, in a studio apartment, he's got a batting cage, a wife and a kid.
Yeah.
It's wild to me, but so it's hey, I got to go to work. You can sit there on the couch and just watch me take BP over here in the corner.
Well, it's like, I love the videos of Freddie Freeman with the tee and the net up next to the pool at his house, and he's taking swings while the son's running around.
Yeah.
Like, they just make it part of their lives.
Right.
But again, like, as he said, like, I have to get the work in. I have to make sure that I'm getting so many swings a day. I'm doing so many things, because that's what it takes. That's what it takes to maintain.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're playing rec ball where you just like show up 3 times a week and slap a glove on and play. That's fun.
Right.
This is, if I have a bad week, I could lose my job to see some young kid come up from the minors.
Right.
I could, at any point in time, I could be replaced. I could be traded. I could be benched. There's a lot of other things to worry about.
Yeah. Ed says, I think most love the game, but not the life all the time. And that's a fair point. Also, I think too many trips before you played your league, hit faraway places once a year, not so much anymore. Yeah. Marty says, I was a walk-on in JUCO and D2, don't understand not loving the game. And yeah, I agree. Job? No, just a lazy baseball player. Yes. If being paid to stay in shape for a game is a job, these guys are out of touch. Yeah. Curtis says, I've appreciated the guys who've retired at a relatively early age because they have lost the desire and the love. And yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we've had guys like Rendon just outright say it. It's a job. And we've heard guys like Kyle Tucker who are like, I play. I don't necessarily love it, but I play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Musicum, and I get this point, right? They're getting paid to play a game. Totally understand that point and where you're coming from. But I mean, I have my interferences, Ed. I do love my job. I have some interferences, but I don't know. It's a hard one, right? Because we're sitting at home. We don't really know what these guys are feeling. I think Curtis said it earlier in the chat. He's like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what's in our hearts or the guys I work with hearts, people in this chat's hearts. Everybody's different. Everybody views it different. So it's hard to say, but I just want to see a good product. That's all I care about, So yeah, I get it.
I don't care if they love the game or not. It's not really important to me. I just want to see them care that people are paying attention, and care that kids are buying their uniform and their jersey and want to be like them. But at the same time, it's the old phrase, like, I'm not a role model. Like, was that Barkley, whoever said that? But like, you don't have to love the game to be really good at it.
Right.
And I think you'd find a lot of these guys probably don't love the game. They probably don't hate the game. They don't hate the game like some people hate their jobs. But I mean, the reality of it is, that's a brutal schedule. Like look, take the NFL for example. You're home all week. You fly out Saturday, you play Sunday, you come home. Yeah, you're practicing, but like, you're home. These guys, they aren't home. Like, these guys are very rarely home. They're on the road a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a life that seems so glamorous and exciting and fun, but like, I traveled for work for 2 solid years. It sucks. Like, as much fun as it is to see places and stay in cool hotels and all that stuff, like, it sucks. Life goes on without you.
Yeah. And let's not romanticize being a modern MLB player. Guys like Kurt Flood, Clemente, they were grinding. Yeah. I mean, the travel back there, brutal. I can't even imagine what those guys went through.
That was brutal.
And Greg, this is also fair. The only people that I feel have a right are the ones with kids.
Yeah.
Like, you are away from the team a good bulk of time. So yeah, it's crazy. Darcy says, in my opinion, this is why a guy like Derek Jeter was a great ambassador for the 16, 17 years he was in the majors. He played like he loved every minute he played, but he waited to get married and start a family until after he was done. Now he has the best of both worlds. He's in the Hall of Fame, has a lovely wife, 2 or 3 kids, and is on the panel. So like, yeah, I mean, that's a great point.
Yeah, he put off his life till baseball was over.
He put the game first. I mean, if that doesn't show love, I don't know what does. But yeah, I don't know. Crazy.
Yeah, it was interesting. The Juan Soto thing got me thinking, like, do they or don't they? And do we even care? Because I think it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good one. We could sit here for another hour and discuss it. But
yeah.
For me, I think I'll end it with this. The only way it matters to me is if you do it like Rendon did, where you made it blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
That you were like, yeah, my hips hurt, but I'm going to wait until the start of the season to get my surgery just so I don't have to play. Like, there's no chance of me playing, that's when it's like, oh, okay. Like, come on now. Right. And he pretty much came out and just said, like, yeah, it's a job. Man, I don't care about it.
He was the first one to like just say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
Other guys have kind of made comments that made you believe, like, yeah, guys, like, I'm doing what I have to do because it's what I have to do. Like,
right.
Yeah, it's a job.
Yeah. So
it pays exceptionally well.
Yeah. Agree. All right. Let's get into the next one.
All right. So obviously we've got the latest version of Yankees Red Sox going on, which honestly, like, Yankees Red Sox has zero excitement for me anymore. It hasn't felt like a rivalry in a long time. But it got me thinking, what is the best rivalry in MLB right now?
Well, I would say it was the Rockies and the White Sox fighting for last place every year.
Fair.
Best rivalry in baseball right now. Cubs Cardinals? Maybe? Dodgers Padres? I don't know if there is one. And maybe it's because, like, nothing's gonna live up to the Red Sox Yankees prime, but I don't know if I can, like, look across the league and think there's two teams that, like, genuinely hate each other and it's pumped up to the volume that, like, I feel like a rivalry should be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I mean, we lived through what I feel like was like an epic Yankees Red Sox rivalry from the late 90s to the early 2000s. But the problem is, like, the Red Sox won and then they won again. And, like, now, I mean, for the last, like, 6 or 7 years, the Yankees Red Sox have been, I mean, the Yankees were struggling there for a little while. The Red Sox have been a mess. There's no bad blood between the organizations anymore. Like, there's nothing that carries over. And with guys that move around so much, like, you've got guys that have played that, a lot of those rosters were, have not been there that long. What does Jazz Chisholm know about Red Sox Yankees?
Yeah.
I mean, right. I don't consider that much of a rivalry anymore. I know that people still bill it as Red Sox Yankees. It's the biggest rivalry in baseball, but it's like, it was, but it hasn't been for a long time.
Not even close. Flat Cheese might have nailed it. Players versus the MLB. I mean, you're not wrong.
You got it. That's probably the best rivalry right now.
I mean, Giants Dodgers. Yeah, I can see that one.
Yeah.
That Rockies and Angels series from the past week. Oh, what a barn burner.
Yeah.
I
mean, the Padres Dodgers was good for a couple of years, but, like, the Dodgers just basically own them. Like, it's not even a rivalry anymore. It's just, there's no back and forth.
Yeah, and I think Musicum, you nailed it here. Players are too chummy in today's games, right? And to kind of put you and Harrison's point together, like, players are bouncing around from team to team all the time. Like, you can't establish a hatred for another team because I got to be careful. I might be playing for them next year. Right. Juan Soto versus getting on base, another good one. So, I mean, I mean, I think Flat Cheese might have nailed it. It might be the players and the owners right now. It might be the best rivalry in the MLB at this moment.
Yeah, because, I mean, Cubs Cardinals, I think, is still a pretty good one, but, like, I don't know. That one's got a lot of fire in it anymore. No. Guardians Tigers, I don't view that as much of a rivalry anymore. Giants Dodgers. The Giants haven't been a real rival in years.
No.
And Red Sox Yankees, like, forget about it. That one is so flat now. It's not even worth talking about.
I mean, Michael said Braves Phillies. I mean, maybe. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like there's a lot of to Musical's point, like, they're too chummy, the way they move around. I feel like you're just not in an era where you're gonna have rivalries much anymore. Like, guys don't stay anywhere very long in most cases.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the history is gone. I mean, and everybody seems to be so afraid of, like, offending anybody or pissing anybody off. Like, guys used to go to the podium and call other teams out for their bullshit. And now, like, nobody says a word. I mean, hell, people won't even talk about Juan Soto on his own team.
Yeah. Curtis says Cubs Cardinals is forever. Live here and you'll see. I mean, I get that, right? And I think part of it is when the Red Sox and the Cubs finally got the monkey off their backs.
Yeah.
It kind of sizzles out the rivalry, right? Because it was the Yankees just pounding the Red Sox's face in year after year after year, rubbing their face in it, pounding them some more, right? Like, and then finally the Red Sox got over the hump in a historic way, mind you. So, like, now it's just like, okay, now what? Right? There was always that, well, the Red Sox still haven't won. It's the curse of the Bambino. It's everything, right? Cubs had that same pain. Like, they would get there, and then freaking Steve Bartman reaches over and, ends that. And then, like, the curse still lives on, and they finally get over the hump, and that's kind of lost its sizzle. And maybe it is regional. I don't know. But Yankees and Astros, I guess. Yeah, Chad, that's not a bad one from a while ago from the sign stealing. That's a good one. But I just, right now, I don't think there's one that is, like, popping out.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one right now, I would take Dodgers Padres because it feels like Red Sox Yankees of in the past, where the Dodgers would just beat the crap out of them like the Yankees to beat the crap out of the Red Sox. But, like, there's not the bad blood component of, like, there's been some chirping and there's maybe been a batter or two hit, but, like, there's nothing that continues to, like, linger. Red Sox Yankees was Don Zimmer to the ground, Pedro hitting guys in the head, Clemens throwing up and Manny Ramirez freaking out for a ball that was nowhere near him. It was just like everything was so amplified when they played.
Ed says
I don't get that feeling.
Ed says Cubs Brewers. I know they've had some spat back and forth.
Yeah,
pretty regularly. That's a decent one, maybe.
I feel like now the biggest rivalry is everybody against the Dodgers. It's like all of MLB versus the Dodgers.
I mean, that's also fair. Forrest says the American League versus the win column.
Facts.
Yeah. So I don't know. Exactly, Curtis. And this is kind of where I'm at. Rivalry becomes dormant when one team sucks during the season. 1,000%. Right. I mean, if Red Sox and Yankees are playing for the division, like, they're neck and neck the whole time, then it might have a different feel to it. But right now,
but
no.
But, like, I feel like even Red Sox Yankees in the playoffs last year, like, it didn't have the same.
Yeah, it didn't.
Same power that it used to. It was kind of like, oh, the Red Sox and Yankees are playing, cool. That used to be like an, oh my God, stop what you're doing, you got to watch it. It'd be Yankee suck chance forever.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, oh, whatever, they're playing each other.
Yep. I mean, Marty, good one here when Astros and Rangers were both good. They were good rivals. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, for me, it's just kind of right now there's nobody that really kind of sticks out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any, like, intense rivalries right now. I think there's still some ongoing rivalries, and it may be more from a fan's perspective than anything else, but
right.
I think Red Sox Yankees is still a rivalry to some people. I don't feel it like it used to be. Cubs Cardinals has always been one, and that's, that one geographically probably is a big deal. Not one that you necessarily feel if you're outside of that area, because it doesn't have the same kind of headlines and highlights to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael, Mets and respectability. It's a good rivalry.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
So I just thought this would be fun. We've talked so much about pitchers and hitters, and lately. So I thought, let's do this. So what is head-to-head matchup that you want to see most? So if you could pick one pitcher and one hitter current and throw them out there and say, I just want to see these guys go at it for 10 at bats, like, who are you taking?
I want to see Shohei Ohtani face Babe Ruth 10 at bats and then switch. I want to see Babe Ruth pitch against Shohei Ohtani for 10 at bats. Then I want to see Shohei Ohtani pitch against Babe Ruth for 10 at bats.
That'd be cool. We have two people immediately went to Ohtani versus Ohtani.
Yeah.
Shohei versus himself.
But let's end this debate for real. Like, who is the best two-way player? Shohei Ohtani against Babe Ruth, 10 at bats. Babe Ruth against Shohei Ohtani, 10 at bats. End it for all. That's mine.
You know how that ends.
Yeah, Babe Ruth goes 10 for 10 with 10 bombs.
No.
Yeah. Anyways.
Way different eras. Way different game.
Yeah. What would yours be?
So I would love to see, I mean, it's probably boring, but I would love to see Bob Gibson, who was a man-eater, against a guy like Ted Williams, who was a technician. And just see what they would do. Because I don't think that's a guy that would scare Ted Williams. I don't think Gibson was scared by anybody. But I think that'd be really cool. If I was looking currently, I would love to see a guy like Mason Miller go out there against some of these higher contact guys, like Luis Arraez, and just like see, is he really that unhittable? Or is he just unhittable to guys that don't make a lot of contact? Like, what is it? What is it really? Historically, I'd love to see a Mason Miller versus a guy like a Tony Gwynn or I bet Gwynn would wear him out.
Yeah, Rod Carew, George Brett, those contact guys for sure.
I think those contact guys would wear him out because I think that if you're a high contact guy, I don't think it matters if it's 95 or 105. Like it's what you do.
Yeah. I mean, the one that sticks out in my mind was, I know I hate to go back to Ohtani, but Ohtani and Trout in the WBC.
Yeah.
Like, it all came down to that moment. I wish I could relive that moment 10 times. Like, give me 10 at-bats of that in that same pressure cooker. Like, give me those 10 at-bats. I mean, Mike Trout came out and said, I was going for a bomb there.
Yeah.
I was going for the downs. Now, if he could change his frame of mind and just be like, hey, I got 10 at-bats, I got to do what I can do here. Does it change? Maybe. But give me that moment 10 times and see what happens. I would love that.
Yeah. Oh, Shohei versus Bonds. That'd be an interesting one. Bonds versus Skeens or Skubal. That would be sick.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bonds still squares these high velocity guys up.
Yeah. I mean, Manny Ramirez against those guys. Like, I think those guys would still rake.
Yeah.
You couldn't beat those guys with anything.
Yeah. A big unit versus Judge or Ohtani.
Nice. Mike Reed says, Mason Miller versus Gary Sheffield would be interesting. Sheffield loved the fastball. Loved the heater.
Yeah, you just get that Mason Miller slider and Sheffield wouldn't have a chance.
Wouldn't throw the guy a single fastball. Oh, Pedro versus Judge.
That's a good one.
That would be sick.
Yep. Koufax against anybody. I wish I could go back and watch Sandy Koufax pitch live for sure.
Yeah.
Alvarez versus the Miz right now. Yeah, and then another one, Bonds and Miz. Alvarez and Miz right now would be a good one, Curtis, for sure. I mean, Bonds against any of these new guys for sure. Yeah. Johnson against Mike Schmidt would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could go anywhere with this one.
You really could. And that was kind of the fun part. It's so open-ended. Like, I would love to see those guys, Gibson, Pedro, Randy Johnson, those guys like really intimidated guys go against any of these sluggers, even go against a guy like Pete Rose. Like, how good would Pete Rose be when he's got a guy that's whizzing fastballs up by his ear flap?
Right. Belliard versus Mason Miller. As Skip Carey would say, if Belliard can just get under it, he could finally go yard. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Reed says Nolan Ryan just pitching in today's baseball. Like, what would Nolan Ryan look like today?
Man, with that 12-6 curveball he had, man, he would just be screwing guys into the ground, I think. Still.
Yeah. Punch them in the head when they come out.
J.R. Richards, another great one, Marty.
Oh, yeah.
That dude threw straight BBs. Kimbrel versus Tony Batista just for the stances alone. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Weird versus weird.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, man.
That'd be so good.
Yeah. Those are good ones. Yeah. For me, I would just want to end the who's the greatest of all time debate and just give me, and I get the era difference, but give me Shohei versus Ruth and Ruth versus Shohei, just because you can flip the script on both of them.
Yeah. So it'd be fun to be like, all right, let's see it head to head.
Or give me the same kind of thinking. Just give me Carlos Zambrano versus Mike Hampton. Who's the better hitting pitcher? Off each other, right? So
Jamie Moyer versus Aaron Judge. That'd be awesome.
Jamie Moyer versus Julio Franco.
There you go.
Yep.
Man, what would Jamie Moyer look like in today's game? I mean, he was an outcast back in his day. Imagine what he'd look like today.
Yeah.
It was like Charlie Lee Brandt saying that Barry Bonds comment on him was he throws like my grandma.
That was
like
I was not expecting that. That was hilarious.
No, but the thing is, like, Lee Brandt didn't have to throw all that hard. He just got guys out. It's like, you want to roll over this changeup? Go for it. Like, I'll let you do it.
This is a good question, Greg, and I don't know the answer to this. You know what I'd want to see is Mariano Rivera in modern game with all the new tech for preparing for pitchers. I wonder if he could hold up. Probably would be a resounding yes. Now, actually, when we talked to Jonathan Van Every, he said what was crazy about Mariano was all of his pitches looked like they were going to be in the same location.
Yep.
He's like, I saw Mariano Rivera a couple times in my career. First pitch was right down the middle. He goes, should have swung. Saw the spin, thought it was going to break. It didn't. Second pitch comes in, same location. I swung and it hit me in the shin. He goes, third one, same location, and he buried it on my back foot, and I swung and missed. He's like, all three same location. He could just manipulate how much it broke every pitch, which is crazy. And he knew it was coming and still couldn't hit it.
And the funny thing is, when Mariano Rivera made a mistake and actually just threw a spinner, guys were expecting it to break, so he'd still whiff it on it. They'd still miss the ball down the middle that just spun because they were so used to it going somewhere.
Right. Yeah. The predictable.
Yeah.
It's just
crazy.
It's not.
Mike Reed says today's batter's trying to hit knuckleballs.
Yeah. I'd love to bring a knuckleballer back into this game. Goodness. Yeah. But Mariano's the GOAT. I mean, batters knew what was coming and still couldn't hit it. And to hear Van Every like really talk about that and break it down, like we all knew his cutter was disgusting. But to get it from his point of view, a major league hitter just being like, same location coming in and ends up in three different spots.
Yep.
He's like, you just couldn't tell, didn't know. But wild.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
Yeah. All right.
Last one for tonight. Who is the most frustrating player you have ever watched? And frustrating can mean whatever it means to you.
I got mine.
Oh God.
I got mine for sure. You should probably be able to pick out mine.
I think I know, but go ahead and go.
It's Ryan Brazier.
I had a feeling it was going to be him.
I could not stand Ryan Brazier on the Red Sox. The whole like head tilt, like while getting the signs, and then comes to his set, still like the head tilt, and then just give up 6 runs in the inning. Oh my God.
You were just never a fan of that guy.
But it was just like night after night, Cora just kept putting him in high stress situations and just like, so it wasn't necessarily all his fault, but he just like giving up bombs at oh my God, man. Just, it was tough watching that guy come out of the bullpen. It was awful. I could not stand it. blew so many games for them. Frustrating as hell for me. So yeah, that's my guy, Ryan Brazier.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so me, the most frustrating player, probably no surprise to you, JD Drew. I could not stand watching JD Drew play. I've never seen a guy with more talent afraid to use it. That guy would take fastballs down the middle.
Oh,
First pitch fastball down the middle, second pitch fastball down the middle. Then he's 0-2. And then he's just like found stuff off. And then eventually pop fly, roll over, or eventually works a walk. But what would drive me crazy is this guy would come up with bases loaded or two guys on late in the game, one out, and like fast on the middle, he'd take it. Hanging curveball, he'd take it. And then he would like do everything he could to work a walk. Like I was never more convinced the guy didn't want to hit, he just wanted to walk. And yet the guy, when he wanted to, showed incredible talent and ability and had a good career. But he's one of those guys I always looked at as he was so much better than we saw because it was almost like he was afraid to use his skills. And it drove me crazy every single night watching that guy waste opportunities to come up with a big hit and try to work a walk instead.
Yeah, that's a great one. We've got some great ones in the chat. Alex Colome on the Twins for Forrest. Alejandro Pena back in the days for the Braves, felt like he blew it so many times. It's a good one. Ed's with me on Brazier. Let's go. Thank you. Aaron Bummer as a Brave.
Aaron was a bummer.
This one's gonna hurt you, Harrison.
I know. You're just shooting right at Nomar, huh?
Yeah, any player that adjusts his glove 6 times while batting.
I would love to see Nomar today in the pitch clock era. That dude would have to either get like in warp speed or just give up on it.
Just like, yeah, it'd be insane.
Trax would call himself the human rain delay. Nomar was a human rain delay.
Yeah. Flachi says, ironically, DeGrom, he was so good, but just couldn't stay healthy. I can definitely see the frustration there for sure. Scott says Jack Clark. That's a good one. John Temple, the most frustrating guy ever for me was Bobby Ayala when he was our closer. Example, Andres Munoz has a case of the Ayalas right now. Munoz gave up another one today, blew another save, and they lost. Joseph, my most frustrating player to watch is insert random Tigers closer here. Oh, man.
Except for Doug Jones. We like Doug Jones.
Oh, Curtis, it changes every year. It has been Volpe for the last 2 years for him. Example, these past 2 days. Those are a good one. Brandon, I'm just skipping that one. And yeah.
Brandon's been suspicious.
Yeah, he has been for sure. But yeah.
for Mike Reed says Trout.
That's another great one.
Yeah.
Brad Lidge circa Pools.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That ball still hasn't landed. That and Yordan Alvarez's.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. This is also a great one for us. It was frustrating watching Steven Strasburg not pitch. For sure, that's a tough one.
That was brutal. Especially
when the Nationals had a shot down the stretch and they're like, yeah, he's done for the year. We're just going to shut him down in August. Like, okay. Which, in hindsight, it was probably smart for them because look what happens when they rode him in 2019. Dude couldn't lift his arm above his shoulder anymore.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, a current player that's frustrating to watch is Brian Bayo. Here's a guy with unbelievable stuff that just can't get anybody out. He can't decide who he's going to be. He can't decide how he's going to pitch. Can't decide how he's going to approach guys. He's just out there throwing gas and nasty breaking stuff, but can't get anybody out.
No. Yeah, he's been real frustrating this year for sure, but that's a great one. And thanks for bringing Ryan Brazier back into my brain.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good number from Brandon. Seriously, Tatis. He should be better in the beginning. He was so exciting. Yes.
Yeah.
He was.
Bust for sure.
Yeah. Joel Zumaya and Guitar Hero. Throwing his career away for a video game.
Biggest rivalry right there.
Joel Zumaya versus Guitar Hero.
Yeah. Well, how about the most frustrating manager?
Oh, my Lord. You've got him, Curtis.
Yeah. I don't. It's been Aaron Boone for me for a while. I mean, Cora's a close second, but Aaron Boone and Alex Cora are kind of the same mold for me for frustrating manager. I mean, although Bobby Valentine's time in Boston was also pretty frustrating, but
yeah, I'm going to say for me, the most frustrating manager to watch was John Farrell. And I'm sorry, Jonathan Van Every. I know you love John Farrell, but John Farrell was frustrating for me as a fan because Farrell came in and immediately wins the World Series in 2013. And then the team struggles the next couple of years and they get good again in 16, 17. Then they eventually build to 18 when Tito came in or not Tito came in, sorry. In 18 when Cora came in and they win that World Series. But I felt like the teams in 16 and 17 should have been better than they were. There was a lot of stuff in the years where they weren't very good, where it seemed like he kind of lost touch with the team, lost the clubhouse. Like he was a guy I liked so much as a coach. Like he was even keeled. He gave the guys love when they needed it, also kind of kicked them in the butt when they needed it. Had a ton of respect. And I just feel like that team never really played up to where they should have. Maybe he wasn't as good a manager as I thought, but like I really liked him and thought he was going to be great for them, and then turned out to be okay.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But yeah, for me, it's just been like, I mean, we've talked about it pretty openly on this show about the game time decisions that Aaron Boone makes and why he makes them. And then he comes out and defends why he made them, which you're just like, okay, like I can see what you mean, but like it still doesn't make any sense. His bullpen management is kind of crazy. I don't know. And I'm not trying to sound like a Yankee hater because I love the Red Sox, because I have the same critiques for Alex Cora.
Yeah.
Your misuse of the bullpen for these, I mean, your entire tenure. Like, dude, those guys just gave up 6 runs in back-to-back games. And you think rolling them out the 5th time in a row is going to change? No, dude. You have to do something different. If it doesn't work, don't go back to the same guy. I just, that's what's been frustrating about those two for me, is just kind of the repetitiveness of them banging their heads against the wall. It's tough to watch.
Yeah. And Mike Reed agrees with me on Farrell. He should have been let go instead of Lovello leaving for Arizona, because I didn't consider the fact that Lovello came with him and then he kind of blocked his path to the majors and Lovello left, and then Farrell was gone shortly thereafter. And
yeah,
we could have potentially had Lovello in Boston instead of Cora.
Yeah. Curtis is like pretty much when any manager can make your blood pressure spike. So yeah, it's brutal. But
yeah, rough.
All right. Anyways, let's get off the frustrating and into more happy stuff.
Yeah. All right. Little World Series trivia for you, Nick. So we had a great time talking 1985 World Series. And I was, talking about matchups and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what? Let's do some World Series matchup trivia. Like, we talk about missing lineups. Let's actually go into the pitching matchups.
Great.
So, this is going to be fun. Some of these are going to be hard. Some of these are going to be layups. But and in honor of the 1985 World Series, I took the 80s. So into the World Series of the 80s, Nick.
Great.
So for all you guys in chat that are like, oh, I want 70s, 80s stuff. Well, here you go. I got it for you.
Well, you're going to have to help me out here, because I was 4 at the time when the 80s ended. So you're going to have to help me.
Yeah, and I got to say, there were some incredible World Series played in the 80s. Like,
yes,
some really good ones. So
yep.
Let's see how many of these we can actually remember. So let's start off the 1980 World Series Game 1 pitching matchup. So you had Dennis Leonard going for the Kansas City Royals versus who from the Philadelphia Phillies?
Tim Love.
Nailed it. Wow, you're so
good. I don't.
Brandon, John Carter enters the chat to get everything right.
Yeah, I don't have a clue on this one. No idea. Would I know this name?
I mean, I know this name, so I feel like you'd know this name. The irony of it is his last name is something pitchers don't like to do.
Bach?
Close.
Walk?
Yep.
It's Walk. So Ron Walk. Bob Walk. Darn it. It is Bob Walk.
Yeah, so Dennis Lennon versus Bob Walk. Game 1 thriller.
Yeah. No clue. Oh, Brandon got it too.
See?
Good.
Got some guys coming in here.
Marty. All right. I'll have to wait for you guys. 80s, I got no chance. I'll get the 85 one right just because I spent all day last Saturday watching all 7 games.
Yeah.
But
so what we'll do is we'll just give Chad a little more time to come into these because I think that
absolutely.
I think that a lot of guys in chat, they're going to eat these up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
So let's move on to the 1981 World Series Game 1 pitching matchup, which featured Jerry Royce of the Dodgers going up against this guy from the Yankees.
All right. I got this
couple of crafty lefties duking it out in Game 1 of the 1981 World Series. Who was the Yankees pitcher?
Yeah, I got this one for sure. There we go. All right. I don't feel too bad here.
Yes, I told some of these are going to be hard. Some of these are going to be layups.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it with pitchers and having names that are bad for pitchers? Still can't get over Balfour existing.
Yeah, it's so bad.
That's a good one. Yeah, absolutely. Ron Guidry for sure. There we go. Everyone's got it. Marty, Brandon, Ed. Good job. Ron Guidry.
That is Ron Guidry.
Yeah. Nice. Great one.
All right. Now we're on to the 1982 World Series. Game 1 pitching matchup featured Mike Caldwell for the Brewers going up against this guy from the Cardinals. I will say we've heard this name from the Cardinals several times lately.
I should know this one.
Yep. He was in the 85 World Series too.
Yep. Give me a minute.
He had a brother in the league.
Oh, yeah. I got it. Yep. It took a second.
Yep.
Yeah, he pitched Game 5, I think.
He got lit up. That's all I remember.
I think it was Game 5. Yeah, Ken Forsch is definitely correct. Bob Forsch. Sorry, I get him mixed up. Bob
not Forsch. Ken. His brother Bob.
Bob Forsch.
Yeah. Ken was with the Astros mostly. Bob was with the Cardinals mostly.
Whatever. Forsch.
Bob Forsch. Forsch did not have really great World Series numbers in his career, unfortunately.
No. All right.
1983 World Series Game 1 pitching matchup featured this guy from the Phillies going up against Scott McGregor of the Orioles, who was the Phillies starter in Game 1.
Mike Smith.
Great guess. So close. Could guess not him. This is a name. I mean, in the 80s, it's a name that you would know if you followed baseball at all closely in the 80s.
Well, that's my problem is I didn't start till the early 90s.
Yeah. He was the 1983 Cy Young winner for the NL.
Mike says Glass.
Not Glass.
John Denny.
It is John Denny.
Wow.
He was that year's Cy Young winner.
Never would have pulled that name. Never.
No. Oh, no. Might have been hard to pull it, but it's one of those names like, oh, yeah. Like, heard it before. Couldn't place him.
Yeah. All right.
It's on the tip of your tongue, Nick. Don't worry.
Telling you, 70s and early 80s, man. I'm just forget it.
All right. 1984 World Series Game 1 matchup. Pitching matchup featured this guy from the Tigers going up against Mark Thurmond from the Padres. Who was Detroit's Game 1 starter?
Well, I appreciate this layup after that last one. So
I feel like I owed you one.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
I was like, I got to give you this one because if people are mad at the first few, like I got to give them a layup now.
Okay, good. Thanks.
So
appreciate it.
Although we've gotten a better response to the first few than I was fearful we would get. So I think we're in good shape.
Yep. So definitely Jack Morris for sure. Everybody got that in the chat. Nice job, everyone. Jack Morris.
Mr. Morris.
Yep. Not to be confused with my 90s hero, Zach Morris.
Yes.
Just
agreed.
Saying.
Like one and the same.
Yeah. Same player.
All right. You're not allowed to answer this one, Nick. 1985 World Series Game 1 pitching matchup featured John Tudor of the Cardinals versus this guy from the Royals. Who was the Royals' Game 1 pitcher?
If you were listening to our show, it was Charlie Lebrandt's unsung hero of this World Series as well.
Yeah, he was big for them in that World Series.
Yeah.
And a kind of a lesser known guy from that team who deserves a lot more credit than he got.
Yeah. It was just an absolute blast to sit there and listen to him and his takes on being in the dugout during that series. I couldn't get enough of it. It was so cool. It was easily probably one of my favorite episodes ever.
Yeah, I wanted like a play-by-play, like minute-by-minute breakdown from him of what was going on because that World Series was wild.
Yeah. And he pitched his ass off. Just tough luck in both of those starts, man. It's just crazy.
I know.
He was so good.
Brutal. But when your offense manages just a run or two, like the margin for error is super slim.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody in the chat's got it. It is Danny Jackson for sure.
Yeah, a couple of lefties dueling there. And Tudor was nasty in 85. Holy cow.
Yeah, he had a good World Series too until Game 7.
Yeah, when it seems like he just got tired. Like it caught up.
Yeah.
And that team was so tight.
Yeah.
Imploded.
Sure. Yeah. The lefties ran wild in the 80s, huh?
They did. Oh my goodness.
Insane.
So many great lefties in the 80s.
Yep.
All right. Our favorite topic, Nick, the 1986 World Series. So, 1986 World Series Game 1 pitching matchup featured this guy for the Red Sox versus Ron Darling for the Mets. Who was the Red Sox Game 1 starter?
I'll let the chat get this one as well.
Yeah, Brand, you were just a little bit early with Tudor. You knew he was in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys have not watched the 85 World Series, I would go back and watch it. It was entertaining, the whole thing. Like it was pretty impressive. But especially focus on Game 2 and Game 6 because that's when our boy Charlie pitched. But
he was great too in both of them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it was like, I don't want to say it was like Maddox, but it was so interesting watching him work the inner and outer corners that entire start.
Like Glavine.
He was never over the middle of the plate. He had one pitch over the middle of the plate, and that was when he lost his no-hitter perfect game. And that was because of Tim McCarver. Jerk.
Always blame McCarver.
He literally said it. He goes, Lebrant hasn't thrown a pitch over the heart of plate all game, and next pitch, boom, into left field. It's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's why we don't talk about no hitters, man.
Yeah, another lefty, right? Shocker here.
Yeah, wow.
But yes, you guys are right. It is Bruce Hurst for sure.
Mr. Hurst.
Yep, absolutely. We won't talk about the 86, so let's move on.
Yep. All right, 1987 World Series Game 1 pitching matchup featured this guy for the St. Louis Cardinals versus Frank Viola of the Twins. Who was the Cardinals Game 1 starter? Sweet music, Frank Viola. It was a shame we got him so late in his career in Boston because it would have been fun to watch him.
Right. We got
some of you guys are fast.
Marty got it. Joe McGrain.
Yeah, Marty got it.
Wow. Nice, Marty. Nice work. Yeah, more lefties. This is crazy. Yeah.
The lefties just keep piling up.
Scott got it too. Nice job. Yeah. Joe McGrain. Nice work. All right.
All right. 1988 World Series Game 1 matchup. Pitching matchup featured Dave Stewart from the A's versus this guy from the Dodgers. Who was the Dodgers Game 1 starter? I would say a lesser known guy, but still a guy that should ring a bell with most of us.
Whenever I see 49, I just think of Tim Wakefield.
I know. It's so hard not to.
Yeah.
This guy spent time with the Dodgers, with the Royals.
I think Forrest has got it. It's Belcher, right? Is it Belcher?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. It is.
Yeah, Tim Belcher.
Tim Belcher.
Good one. Tom Candiotti is not a bad guess.
That's a good guess, yeah.
Yeah, Belcher. When Forrest said Belcher, I was like, yeah, I think that's it. Nice job, baseball history dork. Good one. All right.
All right. This one might be the toughest one of the bunch, but we'll see. So, 1989 World Series Game 1 pitching matchup featured this guy from the Giants against Dave Stewart of the A's.
You couldn't leave Dave.
Who was the Giants Game 1 starter?
You couldn't leave Dave Stewart off this one for me?
Nope. It would have been way too easy.
Man.
This is a pretty good pull.
He's the right-handed Madison Bumgarner. It looks like almost the same delivery, just mirrored. Does it not?
Yeah. It does. This is a guy that had a few really good seasons and then just flamed out. But a guy almost won a Cy Young Award, put up some numbers and then, oh, Scott, you're so close. We got to give it to him.
Oh, isn't it like Gareth's or Garneth's or
it's something? Scott Garrelts.
Yep. Yes.
Yep. Scott Garrelts.
Yeah. Nice job, Scott.
Yeah, that. I was impressed because this is a guy that, had a pretty good peak for a few years, damn near won a Cy Young Award, and then was just gone.
Yeah. Joseph goes righty versus righty in the 80s. Well, if you ask some people, 89 wasn't actually in the 80s because it started in 1980. Whatever. But anyways. God, whenever we put out a decade question, it without fail, they just debate on when a decade actually is in the comments. It's wild. But Geralt's nice
I love it. These guys sit in their mother's basements and they tell us when a decade is.
Yeah.
Yet they haven't seen the outside in a decade.
Right. So yeah, Scott and Ed, nice job on that one for sure. Great work. Those are fun, Harrison. I love those. Those are tough for me. Like I said, like 70s and early 80s is my black hole for baseball trivia.
Well, it just means next time we do this, we'll do the 90s and maybe we'll jump back to the 70s and we'll do the 2000s and we'll jump back to the 60s. So you got a chance on some of them.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into it, I just want to remind people that Jeopardy is coming back. 5-week tournament starting this Thursday, putting it together now. 9 p.m., 5 weeks, your chance to win rounding third merch. So it is back, but only for 5 weeks. We aren't doing a 10-week journey this time. So 5 weeks Jeopardy challenge. I will be putting it out on the page to make sure we get some contestants in here. I know you guys will all be here because you come every episode, which we appreciate so much. But yes, MLB Jeopardy is back starting this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So set your alarms, fellas and ladies.
John, we're so glad that you're that happy. I love that for you.
Yep. It's a lot of fun, man. It was last summer was a blast. That 10-week stretch was unreal. It was so cool. But
yeah, Michael, cover the World Series in the 1880s. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I definitely won't find any photos of those guys for
yeah, you will. They'll just all be standing there in like a still photo with like their bat against their shoulder. That's it.
Yeah, won't be much going on.
Yeah. Really appreciate it, Marty. We really do appreciate the support that you guys show us show after show. It means a lot to us. You know, all the work we put into the show, it means a lot that you guys keep coming back. So thank you. But that being said, Harrison, do you have any thing to bring up while the chat thinks about things to bring up?
Yeah, so interesting comments from our boy Manny Machado, who basically said, you know, that we're going about baseball all wrong. There's too many stats and numbers, and we've gotten away from, you know, just baseball being baseball. And I thought, you know, his comment was the game's evolving, man. It's definitely getting harder to play. It's definitely getting more strategic. I just wish we can get the analytics out of the way. I think there's too many stats out there, too many stats, way too many numbers. I don't even know half of the stuff that goes up there. I look at the board sometimes and even ask some of the guys, like, what is WCCVBB, whatever it is. What are these names that are being created? I mean, it's just crazy to keep up with. Interesting to hear a Major League Baseball player basically say, like, what the hell are some of these stats and what do they even mean?
Well,
what do you think about that?
I mean, he's not wrong, but also when your stats suck, you also want them out of the game, right? So, I mean, listen, like if I'm hitting 169 like he currently is, I look at the board and I'm just like, what does BA mean? And why is it so low? Oh, we need to get these stats out of here. But no, honestly, I kind of agree with him. Like, we don't need all of this stuff to tell us how good or bad a baseball player is. Like, to my point a few weeks ago, like the eyeball test can tell me that already. I don't need a whole bunch of numbers with 85 initials on it to tell me that he's not performing. Right? So, I mean, I kind of agree with him. Like, give me my batting average, give me my home runs, give me my hits, and give me my RBIs, and I'll be fine. Right?
Yeah.
He's right. And Curtis says it. Yeah, he's right. So, yeah. I mean, I don't have any problem with it, with what he said. I agree.
My initial reaction was exactly what you said. It's like, well, when your stats suck, of course you don't want to see more of them. But then when he was getting into like the what the hell does this even mean? And I'm like, you know what? I don't disagree, man. Like there are stats for stats.
Right.
And like there's a point where some of these numbers, like go to Baseball Reference and it's like, you know, ROBA, and it's like, okay, what are these numbers even telling me? Like what am I trying to learn from these? And I think there are some stats that come out along the way that are really great and helpful. There's other stats I feel like we're just like making stuff to look at, and I don't know what it's actually telling me. And I'm a big stats guy, and for me to be like, I don't think I need that is pretty shocking.
Yeah. Brandon says if Manny didn't talk, he wouldn't get into as much trouble. He's an old school solid ball player. I mean, I don't agree. I don't disagree with that assessment. I mean,
yeah, minus the kicking guys you run by them and spiking them too. But otherwise, he's a good dude.
He plays incredible defense still, right? Can he come up with a big hit every so often? Sure, right? He's a solid Major League Baseball player. But in this instance, I don't think he's necessarily wrong. You go up there and there's a whole bunch of letters and numbers up there. Just looks like algebra 2 all over again. You're just like, I don't know what any of this means. Right? So like I don't disagree with him. So yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I found it interesting. At first I kind of laughed at it. Then I'm like, you know what? He's actually making a point, and I hate giving that guy credit for anything.
Yeah. It's wild.
But what else is wild? Do you know who's back in baseball? Or
Royce
about to be
Lewis.
back in baseball?
Royce Lewis.
No, Max Kepler, who the Diamondbacks just signed.
Really?
When his PED suspension is up, he will be joining the Diamondbacks in AAA.
Wow. All right, then. Diamondbacks hurting for some offense. Hopefully he can provide it.
Hopefully he's got the juice. Oh, wait. Is it too soon?
Yeah, that's too soon.
Yeah, sorry.
And not for my voice. Thanks.
God.
But all right. I got nothing else. You got nothing else?
That's it.
All right. Well, like I said, 5-week Jeopardy challenge is back on Thursday. Tune in 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that. So study up, watch some baseball, and we will see you Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, week 1 of Jeopardy, of season 2 of Jeopardy. Let's go. See you then, fellas.